Good morning, everyone. It's Marg from Creative Stamping with Marg. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Alberta, Canada. Today is Tuesday, April 25th, and it will be the last video of the month using up retired products from Stampin' Up! So the card we're going to do today I'm using the Fancy Flora DSP. These are the two sheets I chose to use, and the reverse. So we need 3 different pieces of DSP today. And I will show you what I've chosen to use. The card base is going to be soft suede, and that is a retiring color. And it is still, the cardstock is still available. The last time I checked, the card will open like this. So the piece is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And the pieces that we need are as follows. We need 1 piece of DSP to go on the front of our card. So this piece, I like just a small border. So this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Now all these measurements will be underneath the video, so you don't have to write them down if you don't want to. You can use a 4 by 5 1/4 piece, but that will give you more of an edge. I like this one because it just gives you just that little bit of edge around. So that will be our background piece that's going to go on there. Then you need 2 other pieces of DSP, and I chose 2 different pieces. So there's 1 piece that is 2 1/4 inches, that's this one, by 5 1/4. So it will go right top to bottom. And the other piece is 2 inches by 4 inches, and it's to go this way, but I'll show you all different configurations of this. Now, we want cardstock behind these pieces. So your cardstock piece that's going to go behind this one is 2 3/8 by 5 3/8. So it will just have that little bit of a border around it. And I chose soft suede for that piece, and it will go top to bottom on your DSP. The 2-inch piece, your piece is 2 1/8 by 4 1/8, again, giving you 1/8 of an inch all the way around when we glue it together. And I chose Evening Evergreen for this piece. All right, so it'll stand out like that. All right, then you're going to need, I have a piece of DSP for the inside, so my piece, basic white, for the inside is 4 by 5 1/4. And I have a 1/2 inch piece of one of the DSPs. You could choose any of them. And I cut a matching, so it would be just a little bit bigger, 5/8 by 4, I think, to go across there, and just mat that a little bit. It's going to go on the bottom of my inside, so it'll look like that. I also have chosen to use the Layering Circles dies, which are retiring. They are still in stock the last time I checked. So I used 1 size, and I've used the scalloped edge in Evening Evergreen. And I've cut soft suede, just the next smaller one. And I'm making this into a Mother's Day card. So I cut the matching plain circle that's going to go here like this. And I've stamped it with Hope You Have a Wonderful Mother's Day, which is from a retired set called Welcoming Window. If anyone has that, I've kept it because of the Mother's Day sentiment on it. I like that. So that's what I put on there. So that's how that's going to go together on the front of our card. Now, I'll lay all this to the side. There's many ways you can put this card together, as you can tell. And I will show you some different variations. So it can be put together. And actually, I'm thinking today maybe I will change the orientation, and I will put it this way, opening like this, just for something different. So you can play around with your orientation. I think what we'll start with is we'll glue this piece on, because we know for sure that's going on the front just the way it is, so we can glue it on. And that beautiful paper on the back, I hate to cover that up, but you're going to see it on the little strip that I cut over there. So that's, I want the peachy colored side well, it's pale papaya, I think, that side showing. So glue this on with my Tombow glue. You can't really separate my silicone mat there, but it's almost the same color as my soft suede. So you just want your 1/8 of an inch showing around the edge. So put it on as evenly as you possibly can. So like that. And if I'm going to orient it this way, also we can glue these pieces together because we know they're going onto their respective cardstock. So I will just go ahead and do that. And then we can play with the layout a little bit and decide how we would like it to be. I've made this card many times, and I like that it uses a lot of DSP, which I've said to you is sort of our goal today. And this month it was to use up DSP and retiring product. This was really pretty DSP. It is still available. I think I said that already. Fancy Flora. The last time I checked, it was still available. But it will be retiring in not too many days. Our new catalog comes out May 2nd. So all these products that are retiring retire on May 1st. So if you want anything, you'll have to get an order in quickly. And hopefully you get what you want because things are disappearing. All right, so there's our pieces. Now, if I'm going to have the card oriented this way, how do I want to lay these? Well, I can lay this way. I can put this like this. I can put this like this. Now, if I don't want to cover up, that is a very gorgeous print. If I don't want to cover it up, maybe I want to do this. I think I really like that the green is behind and we get to see all of this. Now again, if that's the way we want to have it, that's good. I will glue all my pieces together here. Like I said, I've got a soft suede scallop circle. I am just going to put my greeting, my basic white greeting circle right down onto the soft suede. And this has very little edge on it. I don't know if you can see. Take it off of that. This is really, it just fits and gives you just a tiny little edge around that. And then I'm going to glue it onto the green one. And then we'll probably put it up on dimensionals when I attach it to the card itself, once we have our layout figured out. I do have 2 other cards I can show you. They're made with the same dimensions, just different layouts, the way I set them up. All right, so if we decide we're going to do this, where do I want my greeting? Maybe there. And I also have tied a bow ahead of time out of the soft succulent open weave ribbon, which is still available last time I checked. Now, if I'm going to put this on here, maybe I want to do it like this so that the ribbon kind of hangs down. I also brought in the retiring, well, the retiring opal rounds. These will be, and these actually are gone out of the catalog. These are the 2021, 2023 in color opal rounds. And as you can see, I haven't used a lot of them, so I'm going to use the evening evergreen ones, I think, on this card. Unfortunately, they are already gone out of the catalog. All right, so I like the way that looks. I'm happy with that. So I think I'll go ahead and get that put together. So I'm going to glue it just like this. Glue this one on, and these go down flat on your card. And they just fit top to bottom on your DSP. That. Quick and easy card to put together, uses up a fair amount of DSP and a bit of extra cardstock with all the matting that we've done here. So I'm thinking, which way do I want to put this? I kind of liked that one that way. Lay it like that. All right, dimensionals on that and a glue dot on that. I'll use black dimensionals today. I know I said that before. I forget I even have these. And when you're using dark colored cardstock, you can definitely use your black dimensionals. And then you don't see them from the side. That's the trick. Not that anyone's really looking, I don't imagine, but I kind of like using these. All right, get the backs off. That. Love using my grid paper so I can line all this up. Make sure it's straight. I'll just put it like that. And I'm going to use a glue dot to put my bow on. The easiest way to use your glue dots is to put the bow actually onto the dot, like that. And it sticks right on the back. And then I think I'm just going to put it like this. That. You can trim the bottom off if you want. I like the look of that. And let's see, I want to use the, there we go, looking for my take your pick tool. Here we go. I'm going to put on some gems here. So I will use a big one, maybe up here. And I usually put them in threes, as I've said before. Oh, these guys like to get away from you. And I think I'll put one down here. All right, so there's that. Now the inside of the card, I decided that because it is a Mother's Day card, I pulled the Celebrate Sunflowers stamp set, which is retiring. And I'm going to stamp the inside with Let's Celebrate You. I'm going to use Evening Evergreen ink, which the last time I checked, the ink pads were still available. And I will stamp the inside. And I like to stamp my greeting before I glue it in, just in case it's crooked or I goof it up a little bit, which I've been known to do, get an edge on it or whatever. So it's a good idea to stamp it first, and then if you make a mistake on it, then you can always flip it over. I will try it on a piece of scrap paper here to make sure that it's going to stamp nicely. No edges, looks good. Okay, so stamp that. That looks good. Oh, except what did I do? There's a mistake I did. Which way's my card going? It's going this way. Okay, so you see, I have to turn my paper over. So good thing I hadn't glued that in. Oh boy. Well, you see, we can always fix it. Thank goodness. All right, so let's try this again. There we go. All right, let's celebrate you. I am going to close this up. Get that out of the way so I don't stick my hand in it. And because my paper, my little strips I cut were the 4-inch, I'm going to put them up the side here. I do need to glue them together though. So I will put glue on this one and glue it to the back. Like that. All right, I think it's really hard for you to see this, I know, because my silicone mat is same color as the soft suede. All right, so there's just a little, whoop, boy, I'm having a hard time today. All right, I'm going to glue this onto the side of the card, and hopefully I've got it oriented correctly. Oh my goodness sakes, that was could have been a big mistake. But there's just another point why you don't want to glue in your inside layer until you've stamped it. And again, I'm using my grid paper to line this up, and then I know it's straight. There we go. All right. Okay, now we can glue that in. So we're going to put that in the inside of the card, and no one will know that there's another greeting stamped on the back. Thank goodness you can't see through this paper. just with a nice border around it. Again, center it in the inside of your card like that. And there's our card done. So that's pretty quick and easy. Uses up a fair amount of DSP. This is 6x6 DSP, so it really did use quite a bit up. So I think that turned out really nice. Another Mother's Day card ready to go. Let's celebrate you. There we go. And I've got my envelope ready to go. So I cut an extra piece of this green, and that's what I'm going to glue on my envelope flap. Get that done. And we're all set. I am in a craft sale May 6th. Mostly not the sale part of it, but just to introduce stamping to maybe new stampers. And so I am doing a make and take there. If you're in the Edmonton area, it's at Parkview Community League on May the 6th. Should be a good one. Have to come and check it out if you're in the area and introduce yourself to me. I will be at a table with my sister-in-law who does quilting. So you will see some quilted things and sewn things that she's done. And then I'm sharing her table with my Stampin' Up! Stuff. So I have catalogs, and you can see the new catalog in action in person. Okay, there we go. There's that card and matching envelope. I think those are both very nice. I think the inside turned out good. All right, I will show you my other variations that I've done. This card, this is all done in, this is retired DSP, hand-penned DSP, if anybody has that. That's the envelope. Again, this is the same. It's the same pieces, exactly the same. You can see I've got a floral piece on the background and two different pieces for the others. And you see how I laid them side by side this time. So it looks pretty different. Before I laid this layer down, I put a ribbon around it and tied a faux bow where you just put the ribbon around and then you cut another piece of ribbon and just tied in a knot. And it can slide up and down any way you like. That one's a celebrating your day. And inside I put hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day. So there's another Mother's Day card done. And the matching envelope. So that looks a bit different. And then this one, same, using the hand-penned paper again. This one, same pieces of paper. I did a floral in the background and a floral here, and the hand-penned stamp set, hand-penned petals, has matching dies, and there is a die for this little scalloped edge, and I thought that turned out pretty, so I tucked it in there. So again, those three cards are all laid out differently. This one is somewhat like this one. If I turn it this way, you know, there's my short piece, there's my long piece, but I put the short piece on top on this one, and the orientation is this way. So there's three cards, same layout, just done differently. All right, so that was pretty easy, and now I'm done with the videos on using up retired product, and when I come back in May, I will be having to focus on new things, maybe new things in the catalog, and I'll have to give you an update on how the craft sale went. All right. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up for that. And you can subscribe to my channel. I post every Tuesday on YouTube. All right. Have a great one. Bye, everybody.